Welcome to Void Realities, a place where restless minds drift into the quiet of the unknown. Here, science and mystery unfold slowly, not to keep you awake, but to guide you gently into sleep. Let your thoughts wander, your body soften, and your breath fall into rhythm as we journey together through the infinite space between dreams and reality. Time dilation and the astronaut's strange clock, the breath that measures seconds. You notice how every breath feels like a tiny clock inside your chest. Time is not only on the wall, but in the rise and fall of your lungs. The rhythm of your body whispers the first lessons of time, and already you begin to sense that seconds are not as steady as you once thought. You close your eyes and notice the simple rhythm of your breath. In, outside, in, outside. Each breath feels like a mark upon an invisible clock that lives inside your chest. You have always known time through numbers on a wall or the ticking hands of a watch, yet here, in the silence, you feel something more personal. Your body carries its own clock, and it is softer, slower, and more intimate than any machine could be. As you follow this breath, you begin to realize that time is not only something measured, but also something lived. The seconds you experience are not always equal. Some slip by unnoticed like whispers in the background. Others stretch wide like open fields that you wander across slowly. Even now, as your chest rises and falls, you sense that each breath carves its own length of time. This is your first lesson in how elastic time can be. Not from physics textbooks or precise atomic clocks, but from the quiet metronome of your lungs. Each inhale is a beginning, each exhale a closing, and together they form cycles, little loops of existence that remind you that time does not always move in straight lines. Think of how you have felt in different moments. A joyful day seems to fly, hours slipping through your fingers like water. A restless night seems endless, each minute echoing like a hallway with no end. The science of this is rooted in perception. Your brain measures time not as a constant drumbeat, but through the richness of experience. When more happens, when your senses are alive, time seems fast. When little happens, when you wait in silence, time seems slow. And yet, beneath this dance of perception, there is a deeper rhythm. Your body keeps its own time through heartbeat, breath, and pulse. Your heart beats around 60 to 70 times each minute, steady and loyal. Though even this can change. When you are calm, it slows. When you are frightened or excited, it speeds. Each change is your body's way of reshaping time from the inside out. Consider for a moment. Before clocks existed, before sundials or hourglasses, human beings still lived by time. They felt it in hunger, in fatigue, in the rise of the sun, in the breath that carried them through morning into night. Their clocks were in the body and the sky. Your body remembers this ancient way. You do not need numbers to know what a moment feels like. You sense it instinctively. Now let yourself drift into a deeper awareness of your breathing. Imagine it not as lungs expanding and contracting, but as waves lapping gently upon the shore. Each breath is a tide, moving in and out, carrying you forward through invisible waters. Time in this sense is not mechanical. It is oceanic, flowing around you with calm persistence. Science tells us that time is measured by change. A pendulum swings, a particle vibrates, a planet circles its star. But here, in the intimacy of your breath, you understand that change need not be vast to matter. The smallest shift in your chest is enough to remind you that time exists. Each movement of air is a testimony that you are alive in this very second. Your brain also keeps time in subtler ways. Neurons fire in rhythms, pulses that shape how you perceive the present. They do not count seconds like a clock. Instead, they weave experience into continuity. This is why your breath feels like more than air. It feels like a thread stitching your moments together into something whole. You notice now how the seconds begin to soften. As you listen to your breathing, you cannot tell if one is longer than another. They begin to blur, like ripples overlapping on a pond. This blurring is not a mistake. It is part of the design. Your mind, when calm, stops holding on to strict divisions. It lets the moments merge so that you float instead of march. And so you begin to see how time is not only a thing measured by instruments, but a sensation shaped by you. Science agrees with this. Studies show that when you are mindful, when you focus on the present, time feels fuller, slower, richer. Your breath then becomes not only a necessity, but a tool, an anchor to stretch or soften your seconds. Imagine holding your breath for just a moment. The second stretches wide as if you could walk through it slowly. Now release it, and the world resumes its normal pace. Already you have altered your inner clock just by attending to something so ordinary, so quiet. Time, you realize, is not a single story. It has many scales. There is cosmic time, written in stars and galaxies. There is geological time, etched into mountains and oceans. There is biological time, beating in your heart and your breath. And then there is psychological time, the time you feel, which can be quick or slow depending on your state of mind. Right now, all these clocks converge in you, in this very breath. The beauty of this realization is its simplicity. You do not need equations to sense the truth of it. All you need is to notice that the seconds are never rigid. They are pliable, like clay in your hands. They can be stretched by awe, slowed by fear, hurried by joy, or softened by calm. The breath you hold now is a reminder of that. It is not just oxygen moving in and out. It is a mark of existence, a sign that your inner clock is gently ticking. In this sense, you are both the keeper of time and its witness. You live inside its flow, yet you also shape how it feels. As your awareness deepens, you may feel that time itself is breathing with you. The universe inhales and you expand. The universe exhales and you release. In this shared rhythm, the line between your body and the cosmos begins to blur. You are not separate from time, but part of its ongoing pulse. And so, in the calm of this moment, you discover a new way of listening. Not to the ticking of a clock, but to the whisper of seconds inside you. This whisper says time is alive, time is not rigid, time is a rhythm. Hold this thought gently, because soon you will follow the rhythm beyond your body. You will discover how even the earth itself, held in gravity's hand, bends the flow of time. You rest in the quiet of your breathing, realizing that your chest holds its own clock. But beyond you, another hand is at work, gravity itself, shaping how seconds pass upon the earth. Gravity's invisible hand on your watch. You stand on the earth, held by its pull, though you cannot feel the bend of time. Seconds run differently in the valley than on the mountain peak. Gravity is not just a force downward, but a hand stretching the clock. Quietly, you begin to see how space and time lean into each other. You open your eyes and notice the quiet weight pressing you downward. Gravity holds you, though you rarely stop to thank it. It is the invisible hand that keeps your feet on the ground, your cup upon the table, the moon in its orbit around Earth. Yet what you do not feel, what you cannot sense directly, is that gravity does more than hold. It bends the very seconds you live in. You have always thought of gravity as a simple pull, an arrow pointing downward. But Einstein revealed something more subtle. Gravity is not a force tugging at you, but the shape of space and time itself. Where mass gathers, space-time curves, and in this curvature, clocks tick at different rates. Imagine standing at the bottom of a valley, surrounded by mountains. Your watch ticks softly on your wrist. Now imagine climbing to the summit of one of those mountains, where the air thins and the horizon stretches wide. Your watch still ticks, but compared to the one left in the valley, it runs just a little faster. Not by much, fractions of a second, but enough that over years, the difference grows real. It is strange to think that location can change your time. Yet it does. Down deep, closer to Earth's mass, time slows. Higher up, farther from the weight of gravity, time loosens its pace. You live in a world where even the ticking of your seconds depends on where you stand. This truth was tested with exquisite precision. Scientists took atomic clocks, those perfect instruments that measure time by the steady vibration of atoms, and placed them at different heights. One sat near sea level, another was raised just a few stories higher. After careful observation, they found what Einstein predicted. The higher clock ticked ever so slightly faster. Even a few meters of altitude made a measurable difference. It is humbling. To walk up a hill, to climb a staircase, to stand on a balcony, is to step into a different rhythm of time. You do not notice it, for the difference is minuscule, but it is there. Gravity, like a hidden hand, is stretching and compressing the seconds beneath you. Pause for a moment and feel the weight of this. The earth itself sculpts the tempo of your life. In valleys, time clings to you just a little heavier. On mountains, time breathes a little lighter. The ground beneath your feet is not only shaping your steps, but also shaping your seconds. Think now of the universe beyond Earth. Near the surface of the sun, time runs slower compared to the space around it. Near a black hole, the effect becomes extreme, seconds slowing almost to a standstill. Gravity, when strong enough, can nearly freeze time. The same law that makes an apple fall also decides how fast your life unfolds. But here, in your calm breathing, you sense this truth in a gentler way. Time, even in your ordinary life, is not absolute. It bends with the Earth's embrace. Your watch ticks in partnership with the planet's pull. Picture two friends, one living at the top of a mountain, another by the ocean shore. They write to each other, thinking their days are equal. Yet hidden between their letters is a secret. The mountaintop friend ages ever so slightly faster. Not by enough to notice in a lifetime, but enough for physics to declare. Their clocks, though built alike, do not keep the same rhythm. This is the beauty of relativity. It reminds you that the universe is not rigid but supple. Time and space yield to mass, to gravity, to motion. The clock on your wrist is not separate from the cosmos, it is woven into its curves. Now, let your imagination expand beyond Earth. Picture astronauts circling above in the International Space Station. They are farther from Earth's gravity than you. Their clocks tick faster because the pull is weaker. And yet, because they move at great speed, another effect, time dilation from velocity, slows their clocks down. Two great hands, gravity and motion, pull against each other, shaping the flow of their seconds. Here, though, on solid ground, you feel only one hand, gravity's hand. And though it is gentle, its influence is endless. Every second you live is stretched by the Earth itself. There is comfort in this. Gravity is not only a weight, but also a rhythm, a partner in your existence. Without it, time as you know it would lose its shape. The seconds you measure, the hours you plan, the years you live, they are molded by Earth's embrace. You look around your room and realize even the clock on the wall is under gravity's spell. Every tick it makes is just a little slower than it would be, were it free from Earth's pull. The hands sweep forward, but their pace is curved, bent invisibly by the planet beneath you. This thought does not frighten you, it soothes you, because it means that even something as ordinary as lying in bed is part of a cosmic story. You are not only resting in your room, you are resting within the curvature of space-time, your body and your seconds molded by a giant planet beneath you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine sinking deeper into this gravity. Imagine lying at the bottom of the sea, feeling the weight of water above, and with it, time slowing just a little more. Then imagine rising, floating upward, climbing through air and sky to the mountaintop. Feel how each step upward releases a fraction of time, how seconds there would loosen, free from the denser pull below. This is not fantasy, it is physics, proven by the most careful of clocks. And yet to you it is a meditation. You are not racing against time, you are floating within it, feeling its subtle changes as you imagine valleys and peaks. Gravity has been with you since your birth. It has kept you anchored, kept your heart beating at a rhythm shaped by Earth's pull. And now you discover that it has also shaped your time, bending it gently, invisibly, without your consent. It is not something to fight. It is something to rest into, like a cradle that holds you. As you breathe, notice how gravity makes each inhale fall deeper into your body, how each exhale is released softly downward. Even your breath is a dialogue with Earth's weight. And through this dialogue your seconds are written. The lesson is simple yet profound. Time is not universal. It depends on where you stand, how deeply you are held. This realization prepares you for the journeys ahead, where time bends not only with gravity, but also with speed, light, and distance. You rest in the cradle of gravity, knowing it shapes not just your body, but your seconds. And as you drift deeper, you begin to wonder, what happens when you follow not the pull of Earth, but the speed of light itself? Einstein's daydream of light. A young man imagines chasing a beam of light through the sky. That thought becomes the seed of relativity, reshaping how the universe ticks. Time bends, slows, and dances with speed in ways no one had seen before. You drift into his vision, as if floating on a stream of starlight. You settle into stillness, eyes gently closed, and let your mind wander. A quiet image appears, simple yet powerful. A young man, no older than 26, sitting at a desk. Outside, trams rumble through the streets of Bern, their wheels clattering over rails. Inside, the young man rests his chin on his hand, his thoughts floating somewhere far beyond the room. His name is Albert Einstein, though he is not yet famous. He is a clerk at a patent office, a job filled with routine and paper, yet his mind burns with questions that cannot be filed away. On this ordinary day, he wonders, what would it feel like to chase a beam of light? The thought is almost childlike, like something a boy might imagine while watching sunlight through a window. But Einstein carries the thought further. If he could ride alongside a wave of light, would he see it as still, frozen in space? Would it ripple at all? The idea unsettles him because, according to the physics of his time, light must always move. Nothing should be able to catch it. Here, in this simple daydream, a revolution begins. Imagine yourself stepping into that vision. You see the world stretch before you, a beam of light flowing beside you like a golden river. You try to keep up, but no matter how fast you move, the beam races on ahead. The faster you chase, the more elusive it becomes. There is no catching light. It is always out of reach, always moving at the same speed, no matter how determined you are. Einstein lingers on this impossibility. He realizes that if the speed of light is the same for everyone, whether standing still, walking, or rushing forward, then something else must change. And that something is time. The thought deepens. If light's speed never yields, then clocks must. Time must bend to keep light steady. Motion stretches seconds, slows minutes, alters the rhythm of reality itself. In this vision, time is no longer absolute, no longer the same for everyone everywhere. It is elastic, molded by the speed at which you move. You breathe slowly, letting this truth sink in. Time is not rigid. It flexes like fabric, woven into the same cloth as space. The faster you travel, the more stretched your seconds become. For you, time flows normally, gently, evenly. But to someone watching from afar, your seconds drift slower. Your clock ticks differently. Einstein sees it too. From his small office, he looks not at papers, but into the vastness of reality. He imagines trains rushing across the landscape. If two lightning bolts strike both ends of a moving train at the same instant, will the passengers inside see them at the same time? Or will motion itself shift the meaning of now? The answer is profound. Simultaneity is not universal. What is now for you may not be now for someone else moving quickly by. Time is not a shared river, flowing the same for all. It is a collection of streams, each winding through space at its own pace. Let this thought settle in you, as softly as dusk settling over a quiet street. You realize that the very idea of a single universal clock is an illusion. Every clock, every body, every observer carries their own rhythm, bound by their motion through the fabric of space-time. Einstein calls this vision the special theory of relativity. But for you, resting in this quiet night, it is more than a theory, it is a meditation. It is a reminder that reality is not rigid, it is pliable, shifting, alive with hidden possibilities. Imagine again chasing the light. Your breath becomes your stride. Each inhale a step forward, each exhale a release. You reach faster and faster speeds, yet light never slows, never falters. Instead, your own time stretches behind you like silk unraveling in the wind. Your seconds become longer, smoother. Your watch ticks slower, your heartbeat steadies, your life extends. And still, light moves on, unchanged, unwavering. This thought comforts you, because it means that the universe is balanced. Light is the anchor, the steady presence, while time and space adjust themselves around it. In a world of change, there is something that does not yield. The speed of light is constant, and so everything else must flex to preserve that constancy. Einstein's daydream reshapes not just physics, but imagination itself. No longer can you think of space and time as separate. They are a single fabric, space-time, woven together, bent and curved by mass, stretched by speed. Every star, every planet, every body moving within it is shaping this fabric as surely as a stone shapes the flow of water. You sit quietly, letting this idea ripple through you. You realize that your life is part of this dance, even your walk to the corner store, even your pulse as you climb a flight of stairs, bends space-time in subtle ways. You are never outside of it. You are always immersed, always woven into the same fabric as the galaxies above. It humbles you to think that such a vast truth could come from such a small, ordinary moment, a clerk at his desk lost in thought. The greatness of science often begins not with grand machines or laboratories, but with a human imagination daring to ask, what if? Einstein dared. He chased light in his mind, and in doing so revealed that time itself could bend. You breathe in slowly as though inhaling that golden beam. You breathe out slowly as though releasing the weight of centuries of assumptions. You are lighter now, freer, because you see that time is not fixed. It is not a cage. It is a river, winding and shifting, its flow relative to your journey. And yet, this is only the beginning. Einstein's vision of chasing light explains how time stretches with speed. But what happens when you add gravity to the picture? What happens when mass itself bends space-time, pulling not only your body but also your seconds? You let this question linger, softly unresolved, like a note fading into silence. You drift with Einstein's thought, carried on the beam of light he once imagined. But beyond speed lies another mystery, gravity itself, waiting to show you how it holds not just your body, but also your time. The astronaut's slow clock high above Earth. Astronauts move faster, and their clocks run slow. Each orbit is not just a path through space, but through time itself. You picture a watch on a wrist, ticking differently from one on Earth below. Time dilation becomes not theory, but a lived, breathing reality. You imagine the Earth from far above, a glowing blue sphere suspended in black silence. Its oceans swirl with white clouds, its continents glow faintly beneath the sun. Against this fragile beauty, a silver station drifts, circling again and again. Inside it, astronauts float gently, their bodies untethered, their clocks ticking more slowly than yours. It seems impossible at first. A clock is a clock, is it not? Its hands sweep forward the same everywhere. Yet the universe disagrees. When speed enters the story, seconds no longer hold steady. They stretch and bend, yielding to motion. This is Einstein's insight, made real. Time dilation, once only a thought, now written in the lives of people who travel above you. Every astronaut carries a secret. While they orbit Earth, time moves differently for them than for you standing below. Picture one astronaut glancing at her watch. The digits glow softly, marking each passing second. To her, nothing feels unusual. Her body breathes normally, her thoughts flow as they always do. Time feels steady, familiar. But compared to you watching from Earth, her watch ticks just a fraction slower. Her seconds stretch longer than yours. It is not much, fractions of milliseconds. But the difference is real. The faster she moves, the more her seconds expand. Her clock does not betray her, nor does her heartbeat. Both obey the same law. Time itself yields to motion. This truth has been tested, not only with astronauts but with jets and satellites. In 1971, scientists carried atomic clocks aboard airplanes, flying them east and west around the globe. When the clocks returned, they did not agree with the clocks left behind. The difference was small, yet measurable, proof that speed bends time. Now, every day, the satellites above your head, those that guide your phone's maps, rely on corrections for time dilation. Without Einstein's equations, GPS would drift, sending you miles off course within minutes. Your ability to find a cafe or a friend depends on a century-old daydream, proven in the fast-moving sky. And yet, beyond the science, there is a human story here. Imagine two people. One remains on Earth while the other travels above, circling the planet for months. When they meet again, the traveler is ever so slightly younger, her time slowed by motion. Their lives no longer match perfectly. The gap may be small, but it is profound. The astronaut has lived fewer seconds. Close your eyes and picture this reunion. The two embrace, their faces lit with relief and love. Yet hidden in their skin, in their bones, in their clocks, is a difference, a gentle wrinkle in time that only physics reveals. They were born into the same moment, but speed has pulled their paths apart. This is not science fiction. It is reality. The astronauts who return from space are not exactly the same age they would have been had they stayed home. Their clocks have ticked differently. Time has folded softly around them. You may wonder what it feels like for them. Do they sense it? Do they return feeling younger, lighter? The answer is no. For them, every second has passed as usual. They have eaten, dreamed, worked, and rested in rhythms that felt natural. It is only in comparison, only when matched against Earth's clocks, that the difference appears. Time dilation is not lived in sensation. It is lived in relation. Still, there is something deeply poetic about this. To move fast enough is to slip into a gentler rhythm of time. The astronaut carries this rhythm quietly, like a secret tucked inside her pulse. She has touched a truth most will never feel, that time is not one thing, but many, depending on your journey. Imagine yourself floating in the station with her. Earth turns below, a swirl of green and blue. The sun rises and sets every 90 minutes, flooding the cabin with cycles of gold and shadow. Your body adjusts to the pace, yet your seconds still stretch longer than those below. You are suspended not only in space, but in a slightly slower time. The mind begins to wonder, if speed can stretch time, then what would happen at even greater speeds? What if you traveled close to the speed of light itself? The thought makes you drift further into possibility. If you could, you might live decades while centuries passed for those you left behind. You would become a traveler not just in space, but across eras. But for now, it is enough to picture the astronaut's quiet orbit. Each lap around Earth is a lap through time itself. Each second on her wrist carries a subtle difference, like a whisper of eternity folding into her veins. And yet, this is only one side of the story. Motion slows time, yes, but so does gravity. The two effects dance together, balancing and bending. In orbit, astronauts feel less of Earth's pull because they are farther away, and so their clocks should tick faster. But because they are moving quickly, their clocks also tick slower. The two hands, gravity and speed, pull in opposite directions, writing a delicate balance in the fabric of their time. Science calculates it with numbers, precise and careful. But you, here in stillness, feel it as poetry. The astronaut is not only circling Earth, she is circling within a web of seconds, stretched and compressed, bent by motion and by gravity's unseen hand. Her very existence is proof that time is not absolute. And so you lie here, listening to your breath, and realize that you too are part of this dance. Though you are not in orbit, your time is still shaped by Earth's pull, by your own gentle movements, by the rhythm of the cosmos itself. You are never outside of relativity. You are always within it, always held in time's flexible embrace. Let yourself rest in this awareness. Time is not uniform, not rigid. It bends softly around speed and gravity. It bends softly around you. Every heartbeat is a traveler's clock, every breath a reminder that your seconds are not fixed. You imagine once more the astronaut looking down upon Earth, watching cities flicker like fireflies in the night. She knows she will return younger than her friends below, though only by the smallest measure. Yet the poetry of it lingers. To fly fast enough is to stretch your life ever so slightly, to slip gently through the fingers of time. You drift with the astronaut's orbit, her slower seconds carrying you in silence, but soon you will hear of a story more intimate, the tale of two twins, and how time itself chose to part them. The twin who waits. One twin flies among the stars, while the other waits on the ground. Their reunion tells a story written not in words, but in their ages. Time favors neither equally. It flows differently for each life. You pause, imagining the weight of years measured in love and absence. You picture two children side by side. They share a birthday, a cradle, a laugh. Their lives begin together, woven from the same thread of time. They are twins, reflections of one another, their moments aligned like mirrors. From the very start they are equal in years, equal in seconds, equal in the beat of their hearts. Now imagine that one of them stays on Earth. She grows into a steady life, walking familiar streets, watching the seasons turn, feeling years gather gently around her. The other climbs aboard a ship that leaves the atmosphere. She becomes an astronaut, carried into the black silence beyond the clouds. Their lives, once parallel, begin to drift apart, not in affection, but in physics. For the twin on Earth, time flows as it always has. Seconds march forward with the beat of her breath, minutes fill with laughter, days accumulate into memory. She watches the sunrise stretch across rooftops, hears the rain tap on windows, feels her hair silver slowly. Her watch ticks as expected, each second another small pebble falling into the river of her years. But for the twin in space, something quieter, stranger, is happening. She moves fast, circling planets, perhaps even venturing near the speed of light in her imagined voyage. To her, life feels natural. Her heart beats as always, her meals come as always, her dreams unfold as always. Yet compared to her sister, her seconds are stretched. Each one lasts just a little longer, her clock lagging gently behind. This is the famous paradox, the twin paradox. It is not fantasy, it is the fabric of relativity. The faster one moves, the slower her time unfolds. When the astronaut twin finally returns, the reunion holds a secret. Though they embrace as equals, they are no longer the same. One has aged more, the one who traveled is younger. Picture the moment of return. The twin who stayed waits at the launch site, her eyes searching the horizon. The shuttle descends, its engines glowing, its wings cutting air. Out steps her sister, smiling with the same warmth, her voice carrying the same music. To the heart, nothing has changed. Yet physics whispers another truth. Their ages no longer match. How strange to love someone whose years no longer align perfectly with your own. And yet the difference is not betrayal. It is revelation. It shows you that time is not a fixed gift given equally to all. It is woven differently, shaped by speed and gravity, curved by journeys. The twins prove what Einstein saw in his mind's eye, that time is personal. This story has been tested in fragments here on Earth. Jets flying fast, satellites circling high, astronauts orbiting above. They all return with their clocks shifted, their seconds stretched. The differences are tiny in human terms, yet undeniable. And if the journey were longer, faster, closer to light itself, the difference would grow vast. One twin might return decades younger than the other, stepping back into a world that has raced far ahead. Pause and imagine what that would feel like. to embrace your twin and realize that her face carries fewer years than yours. She has slipped gently out of sync with you, not through choice, but through the bending of time itself. And then imagine being the one who traveled. To step back onto Earth, into streets familiar yet changed, into a society that has moved forward without you. For her, the absence is only months or years. For her twin, the absence is longer, heavier, stretched by the Earth's steady seconds. The reunion is tender, but also haunting. Love is unchanged, but time has written uneven lines into their bodies. This paradox is not cruel. It does not punish. Instead, it reveals the pliability of time, the tenderness of its fabric. It reminds you that your seconds are not absolute, that even your closest bonds carry within them the possibility of divergence. You are never entirely synchronized with another. Your rhythms are yours alone, even when you share love, laughter, or blood. And so, the twin paradox is both science and poetry. It is a calculation and it is a metaphor. It speaks not only of astronauts and rockets, but of all human lives. For in truth, no two people ever age the same. Some move through years as though running, others as though drifting slowly. Experience itself is a kind of relativity. Think of how you and a loved one might recall the same day. For you, it flew quickly. For them, it lingered endlessly. Already you see the echoes of the paradox in your own memory. Time is never equal, even when you walk side by side. The astronaut twin carries this truth in her body, but so do you. Each of us lives in our own river of seconds, sometimes aligned, sometimes drifting. What matters then is not that time is equal, but that love endures across its bends. You take a deep breath, feeling the paradox not as an equation, but as a tender reminder. You cannot control the flow of time, nor make it equal for all, but you can pause, you can cherish, you can hold presence in this moment with those you love. For here in presence, relativity yields to intimacy. Yet the paradox leaves you with a question. If time bends with speed, if love itself must bridge its unevenness, then what of the earth beneath your feet? Does its shape, its mountains and oceans also bend your seconds? Could altitude and depth carve differences in your time, just as surely as speed in the cosmos? The question lingers like a whisper between the twins. One waits, one returns, and between them lies a mystery deeper still. You sit with the twins, their reunion tender yet uneven, and you wonder, if even a mountain or a sea can bend time's rhythm, what hidden differences are already written into the seconds of the earth itself? Mountains, oceans, and shifting seconds. Even on earth, clocks whisper different rhythms from mountain to sea. You realize that your altitude writes its own verse of time. Seconds at the summit stretch just slightly more than at the shore. The planet itself becomes a gentle orchestra of uneven beats. You stand at the foot of a mountain. The air is heavy, the ground firm beneath you, and a river runs nearby, carrying water toward the ocean. You look upward, where peaks pierce the clouds, their tips painted with snow. It feels as though the mountain rises not only through space but through time itself, its summit reaching into another rhythm. You begin to climb step by slow step. The valley behind you grows smaller, the air thinner, the horizon wider. Yet what you cannot feel directly is that your seconds are shifting. With every meter upward, gravity's hold on you loosens just a fraction. Your watch ticks a little faster, your life flows just a little differently. This is the quiet secret of relativity. Even here, without rockets or beams of light, time bends. The difference is tiny, almost imperceptible, yet undeniable. Scientists with atomic clocks have proven it. When a clock rests at sea level, deep within Earth's gravity, its seconds run slower. When another clock rests on a mountain top, high and free of some of that pull, its seconds run faster. Pause for a moment and imagine it. Two people, one at the beach, one on the mountain. They call each other at the same instant, sharing the same laughter. Yet hidden in the fabric of their seconds, their clocks disagree. After years, the mountaintop dweller is ever so slightly older. The difference may be only billionths of a second, but physics insists the mountain gifts more time. You smile at the strangeness. To live high is to live fast, not in movement, but in aging. To live low by the ocean's edge is to live slow. The earth itself is shaping your time with its hills and valleys, its oceans and peaks. This is not punishment or reward. It is simply the nature of space-time, curved by mass, stretched by altitude. Gravity holds you tighter when you are low, releasing you gently when you are high. And time responds, bending softly to these differences. Now imagine the ocean. You sink beneath its surface where pressure builds and gravity's embrace deepens. There, seconds slow more than on the land above. A diver resting on the sea floor carries a clock that ticks ever so slightly behind the one left on shore. Even water, even depth, even the unseen weight of the planet's pull can stretch time. This realization shifts your view of Earth. It is no longer a single stage where all lives unfold equally. It is a landscape of shifting rhythms, a symphony of seconds playing at different tempos. Valleys, peaks, seas, and skies, each holds its own tune of time. You walk across them unaware, yet your body is always part of the orchestra. Think of cities built high in the Andes or Himalayas. The people there breathe thinner air, see stars closer to their eyes, and live in seconds just slightly faster than those by the shore. Generations pass, children are born, stories told, and all of it unfolds in a tempo imperceptibly different from sea-level towns. Earth has written variation into their very lifetimes. Science explains it with numbers, gravitational time dilation. The stronger the gravity, the slower the time. The weaker the gravity, the faster it flows. But you, lying still in reflection, hear it as poetry. To live low is to rest in gravity's deeper cradle. To live high is to dance on its lighter edge. You breathe in slowly, you breathe out slowly. Each breath belongs to your altitude, to your place on Earth's curve. You realize that no second is truly universal. Even standing a few stories higher, even climbing a single hill, you step into another tempo. It humbles you to think that life has always unfolded in this way, though unnoticed. Every farmer in the valley, every shepherd on the mountain, every sailor at sea, each has carried a different rhythm of seconds. Their songs of time are close, almost identical, yet not the same. The planet has been bending clocks all along, and so relativity becomes intimate. It is not only about distant stars or fast-moving rockets. It is here, in the rise of land and the depth of water. It is beneath your feet and above your head. The earth itself is a clockmaker, sculpting time with its gravity. Close your eyes and imagine lying in two places at once. On the beach, you hear the crash of waves, your body heavy with Earth's pull. On the peak, you hear only wind, your body lighter in gravity's hand. Both moments feel the same, yet the seconds tick differently. Which version of you grows older first? Which version carries more time? This thought is not unsettling. It is gentle, like a reminder that time is layered, textured, rich with hidden patterns. You need not notice them to live, but knowing they exist softens your idea of what time really is. It is not absolute, not rigid. It is pliant, woven into the contours of the world. Scientists measure this difference with satellites. GPS, circling high above Earth, ticks faster than ground-based clocks. Without correction, your phone would tell you you were miles away from your true location. The system works only because we honor these tiny differences in time. The mountains and oceans of Earth are written into the algorithms that guide your steps. You rest in the awareness that every path you walk, every flight you take, every climb you attempt carries you into another tempo. Time is not waiting at the end of your journey. It travels with you, shifting quietly, always in dialogue with gravity and height. The mountain teaches slowness and speed. The ocean teaches depth and stillness. Together, they show you that time is not one sound, but many. A quiet chorus woven into Earth's design. And so you breathe, and with each breath you feel yourself as part of that chorus. Your seconds are yours, shaped by where you stand, by how deeply the earth holds you. You are not separate from the landscape, you are part of its rhythm. But this is only Earth's lesson. Beyond our planet, greater forces await. If gravity bends seconds on mountains and seas, what might happen in places where gravity grows unimaginably strong? What of the regions near black holes, where time itself threatens to halt? You rest upon the mountaintop listening to Earth's gentle clock, and you wonder, if our planet can bend time so softly, what happens in the dark silence where gravity roars? The heartbeat of black holes. Near a black hole, time slows to an unimaginable crawl. Light bends, space stretches, and clocks near the edge almost stop. You drift closer, feeling the pull of silence and gravity's hush. Time's heartbeat slows until it becomes almost still. You imagine drifting through space, leaving Earth behind, leaving even the comfort of stars scattered across the sky. Ahead of you waits a darkness unlike any other, so deep, so silent, that it feels less like an object and more like an absence, a black hole. It does not shine, yet its presence commands the universe. Around it, light itself bends, caught in its pull. Space curves downward as though into an endless well, and time itself slows to a crawl. You breathe slowly, watching from a distance as matter swirls around the hole. Dust, gas, even entire stars can be pulled into its orbit, circling faster and faster, glowing with desperate heat before vanishing into silence. You know that within its event horizon, the boundary beyond which nothing escapes, not even light can return. But what fascinates you most is not the matter that falls in, but the time that bends around it. Einstein's equations predicted it. The stronger the gravity, the slower the time. And here, near a black hole, gravity is so immense that seconds stretch like rubber bands, longer and longer, until they seem almost to stop. To an observer far away, a clock falling toward the horizon appears to slow endlessly, frozen at the edge, never quite crossing. To the clock itself, time feels normal. But to the universe watching, its heartbeat fades into stillness. Imagine carrying your own watch toward the black hole. On your wrist, its hands sweep smoothly, one tick after another. You feel no difference. Time for you is steady, loyal. Yet a friend watching from afar sees something strange. Your watch slows, its hands drag, your movements lengthen. To them, you appear suspended, trapped at the threshold. They wait for you to cross, but you never do. You are frozen in their sight, caught in gravity's deep grip. This is the heartbeat of black holes. Not a rhythm you can hear, but a rhythm of stretched time. Near the edge, seconds widen into vast plains. Minutes become hours, hours become centuries. The closer you drift, the slower your life becomes to all who watch. And yet, from your perspective, everything feels unchanged. You fall inward, seconds flowing as they always have. The paradox is almost poetic. Time inside your own experience remains faithful, while outside your story appears to halt. Two truths, both real, coexisting in relativity's embrace. Pause and let this duality settle in you. Black holes reveal the fragility of our assumptions. We think time is steady, shared by all. But here, in the silence of a collapsed star, the illusion breaks. Time is revealed as relative, flexible, sculpted by gravity into shapes almost beyond imagination. Scientists have studied these truths not by visiting black holes, but by measuring their echoes. Light from stars bends as it passes near them. Signals stretch, slowed by gravity's pull. In laboratories, equations unfold like meditations, showing again and again how time itself is pliable, obedient to mass. You rest in the wonder of it. Somewhere out there, perhaps at the center of our own galaxy, a supermassive black hole breathes in silence. Around it, stars circle as though tethered to an invisible heart. Their orbits trace the presence of something dark, something that bends both space and time. Imagine sitting at the edge of such a place. The sky around you would be strange. Light from distant stars would curve inward, painting the heavens in warped arcs. Colors would stretch, reddened by gravity, as if the universe itself were sighing, and your clock, your faithful companion, would tick slower than clocks left behind. For you, time is still soft and steady. For others it is a crawl, nearly a standstill. There is a quiet awe in realizing this. Black holes are not just destroyers, not just devourers of light. They are sculptors of time, slowing its heartbeat to silence. They remind you that the cosmos is not only vast but deeply strange, its laws bending reality into forms that defy common sense. You breathe again, slowly, and notice how your own seconds feel now, gentle even, familiar. How different they would seem if stretched by a black hole's gravity. What would it mean to live in such slow time, to feel moments expand outward like ripples on an endless pond? Would life seem longer? Would it feel eternal? Philosophers have wondered at this too. If time can slow so much, does it ever stop? If you could stand right at the horizon, would you step into a timeless state, a stillness beyond seconds? Science says no, your own clock always ticks, but to the rest of the universe you would appear frozen forever, caught at the threshold between presence and absence. This paradox leaves you thoughtful. It is not only about physics, it is about perception. It is about the way your life can feel fast to you and slow to another, how your moments are always relative. The black hole is only the most extreme example of what is true everywhere. Time depends on where you stand, how you move, how gravity holds you. And so you feel a strange kinship with these dark giants. Though you will never touch one, their lesson is already alive in you. Time is not absolute. It is shaped, it is alive, it carries many heartbeats, and each one is its own truth. You drift back from the edge, carrying with you the silence of the horizon. The black hole fades into the distance, but its lesson lingers. The heartbeat of time is not steady across the cosmos. It is slow here, fast there, stretched, compressed, woven into patterns invisible but real. As you rest in this realization, you begin to wonder about the clocks you carry, not on your wrist but within you. Your heart, your breath, your mind, all of them tick in rhythms shaped by the universe. If black holes can slow time to stillness, what hidden clocks inside your own body whisper the same secret? You drift away from the black hole's edge, still feeling the weight of its silence, and you begin to turn inward toward the hidden clock already ticking within you, the one carried in your own body. Time in your pocket. The phone in your hand holds a secret. GPS depends on relativity. Satellites high above tick at a slightly different pace than you. Without Einstein's equations, your maps would slowly unravel. Everyday life, you realize, quietly runs on cosmic clocks. You reach into your pocket and feel the familiar weight of your phone. A simple device, small enough to hold in your hand, yet within it rests one of the deepest truths of the universe. You turn on the screen and see the map open, a small blue dot marking your place. It feels ordinary, almost trivial. And yet, beneath this ordinary gesture, relativity is at work. Your phone whispers to satellites orbiting thousands of kilometers above Earth. These satellites are your silent companions, circling the planet with precise atomic clocks. Every second they send signals, pulses of time, down to your device. Your phone listens, measures the delays, and calculates where you stand. A cafe on the corner, a trail through the woods, a quiet street at night. All of it depends on time. But here is the secret. The clocks in those satellites do not match the clocks on Earth. High above, where gravity's pull is weaker, time ticks a little faster. At the same time, the satellites are moving quickly, and their speed slows their seconds. Two effects, opposite in direction, weave together to create tiny but crucial differences. If uncorrected, those differences would grow. Your map would drift, your dot sliding miles away from where you truly stand. Within hours, it would be useless. Einstein's equations prevent this. Every day, GPS systems quietly correct for relativity. The software in your phone, the signals in the sky, the very maps you rely on, all of it rests on the truth that time bends with motion and gravity. Without this understanding, your pocket companion would fail. Pause for a moment and let this realization settle in. The cosmos is not abstract, it is in your hand. Relativity is not confined to black holes or distant stars. It is here, guiding you through city streets. Time, bent and corrected, allows you to find a friend, to travel a road, to return home. Think of it. Each time you check the map, you are in dialogue with the universe. Satellites, orbiting with the silence of celestial dancers, send you their seconds. Your phone compares them, measures them, and reshapes them, all so you can see a glowing line across the screen. A walk, a path, a destination, and all of it depends on the relativity of time. It is humbling to think that what once began as Einstein's quiet daydream, chasing a beam of light, now lives in your pocket. A theory, once doubted, now threads through the heart of your daily life. You carry relativity everywhere you go, though you rarely notice. This small blue dot on your map is a triumph of imagination. It tells you not only where you are, but also how deeply you are woven into the universe. You cannot escape relativity. You rely on it with every step, every journey, every search. Imagine turning off the corrections. Imagine living in a world where relativity was ignored. Within minutes your position would blur. Within hours the system would collapse into chaos. Roads would shift, flights would miss their paths, ships would drift astray. The entire world, so reliant on navigation, would falter. And all because we forgot that time bends. But we have not forgotten. We honor the bending of time by building it into our machines. We weave relativity into the code that guides planes, into the algorithms that drive cars, into the signals that steer ships across oceans. The universe's laws are no longer distant, they are infrastructure. You look again at your phone and see it differently now. It is no longer just a device of glass and circuits. It is a mediator between you and the cosmos. It listens to clocks high in the sky, clocks that tick differently than your own. It balances them, interprets them, harmonizes them into a single truth. Your place, here now, and you, standing with your phone in hand, are part of that harmony. Your seconds, their seconds, Earth's gravity, orbital speed, all flow together into a chorus that points you home. There is poetry in this. You are a traveler guided not by compasses of iron, but by clocks that bend with gravity. Your path is drawn by relativity itself. Time has become your map. As you walk, you notice how ordinary it feels. You do not see the satellites. You do not feel their signals. You only see the glowing path on the screen. Yet beneath that ordinariness is a profound truth. You are navigating by the curvature of space-time. You are walking with Einstein's dream in your pocket. This quiet partnership between theory and life is comforting. It shows you that the mysteries of the universe are not separate from you. They live in your routines, your habits, your small blue dot. Every journey you take carries a whisper of relativity, gently guiding your steps. And so you begin to see your phone differently. It is not just a tool. It is a reminder that science is not abstract but intimate, that the bending of time is not only for astronauts or physicists, but for you here now. You breathe in slowly. You breathe out slowly. Each breath is a reminder of your own inner clock, steady and human. Yet in your pocket another set of clocks, celestial, atomic, precise, works with you. Together they weave your place in the universe. You realize that you are always surrounded by timekeepers. Your heart, your breath, the clock on the wall, the satellites above, all of them tick, each in their own rhythm, each bending gently under the weight of motion and gravity. And your phone, small and glowing, gathers them into one. This gathering is more than practical, it is symbolic. It shows you that the universe, vast and incomprehensible, can be carried close. Its laws are not distant. They are woven into your pocket, your map, your path. And so, as you rest in this awareness, you find comfort. You are not lost, you are never lost. The universe itself helps you find your way. Yet this awareness leads you further. If satellites can tick at different speeds, if clocks above and clocks below disagree, then what of the clocks inside you? What of the rhythm carried in your very cells? Could your own body hold a secret map of time, whispering seconds that stretch and bend not with orbits, but with life itself? You slip your phone back into your pocket, feeling its quiet partnership with the cosmos, and you turn inward toward the hidden clock already alive within you, the human clock within. The human clock within you. Close your eyes and listen not to ticking, but to the space in between. Seconds are not fixed. Your body stretches them with memory and feeling. Time becomes elastic inside you, guided by attention and perception. The silence carries you deeper into the mystery of your own clock. You close your eyes and let the outside world fade. No ticking clocks, no glowing screens, no calendars, only silence, only breath. And in that silence you notice something subtle. Time is not only measured by machines, it is carried within you. Your body, your mind, your memory, all of them are clocks, whispering their own versions of the passing moment. Your first clock is your heartbeat. Steady, rhythmic, it counts your life in pulses. Each beat is a second lived, a measure of your presence in the world. When you are calm, it slows. When you are afraid or excited, it races. Already you see how personal this rhythm is. Your heart writes time according to feeling. Your second clock is your breath. Inhale, exhale. Rising, falling. A slower rhythm, yet just as faithful. When you breathe deeply, time feels spacious. When your breath is shallow, time feels rushed. Your lungs mark the flow of life not in minutes but in tides, waves of air moving in and out. But perhaps the most mysterious clock is the one you cannot see, the clock of your brain. Within it, neurons fire in patterns, cycles of electrical pulses that shape your perception of now. These rhythms do not count seconds the way a watch does. They weave experience into continuity, stitching past and present into a fabric you can walk across. This is why time feels different depending on what you do. When you are joyful, engaged, alive with wonder, your mind fills each second with detail. The richness of experience makes time seem fast in memory, yet abundant in the moment. When you are bored or waiting, the opposite happens. Each second stretches wide and empty, echoing like an endless hallway. Your inner clock is elastic. It bends not to gravity, not to motion, but to emotion, to attention, to awareness. Think back to childhood. Remember how summers felt endless, days stretched wide with play and curiosity. Now, as an adult, years slip by quickly, blurred by routine. Science explains this. Your brain measures time by the number of new memories it makes. As a child, everything is new. Each day is filled with discovery, so memory slows time. As an adult, when days repeat, memory condenses them and time seems to fly. In this way, you carry two times at once. External time measured by clocks and internal time measured by experience. Both are real, both shape your life. Even your body's smallest parts keep time. Cells divide on schedules, proteins fold in rhythms, your circadian rhythm guides your sleep and wake. Inside every cell is a molecular clock, ticking with the turning of genes. It listens to light, to darkness, to hormones, to signals, and keeps you in tune with the planet's day. Pause and notice how this feels. You are not only living in time, you are made of time. Your heartbeat, your breath, your cells, your memories, they are all timekeepers. The seconds you live are not imposed from outside. They rise from within you, woven into your very biology. And yet, like the black holes and satellites, your inner clocks are not absolute. They can shift, bend, lose rhythm. A sleepless night stretches long, then collapses into blur. A dream feels like an hour, though only minutes have passed. Falling in love makes days vivid, endless. Grief makes time crawl. Joy makes it fly. Your perception, your body, your feelings are all sculptors of time. You realize that you live inside a symphony of clocks. Your watch tells one rhythm. The Earth's gravity tells another. Satellites above, mountains below, oceans deep. They each play their tempo. And within you, your body adds its own notes. Breath, heart, mind, memory. Together, they form the music of your life. There is comfort in knowing this. When you feel time slip too quickly, you can return to your breath. Slow it, stretch it. When you feel time drag too slowly, you can open your senses, fill the moment with detail, with presence. In doing so, you bend your own perception of seconds. This is not just poetry, it is science. Studies show that mindfulness, attention to the present, actually alters how time is experienced. Your brain expands the moment, filling it with awareness. Each breath, each heartbeat becomes more spacious. Time softens in your hands, and so you learn that you are not powerless before the clock. You cannot stop time, but you can change how it feels. You can shape its texture, its flow, its presence in your life. You breathe deeply now, testing this truth. With each inhale, you feel the moment expand. With each exhale, you feel its weight lighten. Seconds no longer march, they drift, they float, they linger. You are not rushing forward, you are resting in time's embrace. It humbles you to realize how many clocks you carry. Some you notice, heartbeat, breath. Some are hidden, neurons, cells. Some live in memory, shaping how you look back and how you look forward. Together, they make you a being of time. And yet all of these inner clocks, with their rhythms and elasticities, are still part of a greater web. The universe's clocks, the mountains, the satellites, the black holes, whisper into your own. You are not separate. You are one rhythm among many, a human verse in the cosmic song. Let this awareness soften you. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly in rhythm, exactly where you are meant to be, carried by inner and outer clocks alike. And yet, a question remains. If your own body carries time, if your mind stretches it, if your heart counts it, then what happens when entropy enters the story? What happens when order gives way to disorder, when the arrow of time points forward and nothing can return to what it was? You rest within the rhythm of your own breath, your own heartbeat, your own memory, and you wonder, if the body can bend time, what greater force drives it always forward, never back? The gentle flexibility of time. From galaxies to atoms, time weaves through everything with a patient hand. The universe itself beats with rhythms slower than any human life. You rest in the vastness, carried by an endless unfolding. And in that stillness, you wonder what kind of clock the cosmos truly keeps. You lie still, feeling the soft weight of the moment. The room around you is quiet, your breath steady, your heart rhythmic. You are aware of your own inner clocks, but now your mind drifts outward. Beyond your body, beyond Earth, beyond even the stars you see at night. Out there, time is not only personal, it is cosmic. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, time flexes. It bends, it stretches, it adapts to the shapes and forces of the universe. It is not rigid, not mechanical, not a metronome ticking evenly across all things. Instead, it is gentle, flexible, endlessly willing to adapt to context. Imagine a galaxy turning. It takes hundreds of millions of years for one arm to complete a circle. That is its second, its minute, its hour. From Earth, you will never live to see the cycle completed. But for the galaxy, this is time, a rhythm vast and slow, yet as real as the beat of your heart. Now imagine an atom vibrating, its particles moving with incredible speed. To it, a second is unimaginably dense, packed with trillions of motions. That too is time, intimate to the scale of the tiny. Between these extremes, atoms and galaxies, time shows its flexibility. It conforms to scale, to place, to context. You realize that your human seconds are just one measure among many, not superior, not central, just one thread in the fabric. To a mayfly living a single day, time is full and long. To a mountain standing for millions of years, your lifetime is a brief exhale. The flexibility of time is not illusion. It is truth. This flexibility is written in Einstein's equations, in gravitational dilation, in velocity's effect. It is also written in your perception, in memory, in the way your childhood summers seemed endless while your adult years pass quickly. Time is patient, willing to take on many forms. Pause and breathe into this thought. You are not bound by one rigid rhythm. You are floating in a web of flexible moments. Some stretch, some compress, some linger, some vanish, and all of them belong equally to the story of existence. Think again of the astronaut circling Earth, her seconds slow compared to yours. Think of the twin who waits, their lives diverging. Think of the mountain, the sea, the black hole. Each one carries its own tempo, and yet the universe holds them all together. It is not chaos, it is harmony. Time's flexibility is not fragility, but strength. Your own life reflects this. There are moments when days stretch wide with waiting, and moments when years vanish in what feels like a breath. There are experiences that linger forever, carved deep into memory, and others that vanish as though they never were. You live not by one clock, but by many. Science gives structure to this mystery. It speaks of relativity, entropy, perception, biological rhythms. But beneath the language of science lies something softer, an invitation. An invitation to rest into the truth that time is not your enemy. It is your companion, flexible, gentle, willing to meet you where you are. You do not need to cling to the seconds or fear their passing. They are not slipping away as much as they are transforming, reshaping, becoming memory, becoming meaning. Each breath you take is not a loss of time, but a shaping of it. Time bends itself to you, just as it bends to stars and galaxies. There is freedom in this. You can let go of the urge to hold time tightly. You can allow it to flow, to expand, to contract, knowing it is not rigid, knowing that it always has been flexible, and always will be. Close your eyes and imagine lying on the surface of Earth, the sky above you full of stars. Imagine that each star is a clock, ticking in its own rhythm. Some tick fast, some tick slow, some burn brightly for millions of years, some flicker out quickly. Yet together they form a universe of time, a great clock with countless hands all moving at once, and in this vast cosmic clock, you too are a hand, a rhythm, a beat. Your life, your seconds, your memories, they are part of the same harmony. You are not apart from the universe's timing, you are within it, woven into its gentle flexibility. This awareness does not diminish you, it expands you. It shows you that your fleeting moments are not meaningless. They are part of the greater fabric, the same fabric that bends around black holes and stretches across galaxies. Your small clock matters because it belongs to the whole. You breathe in slowly. You breathe out slowly. You feel yourself not as a rigid point in time, but as a flowing presence, carried by rhythms larger and smaller than you can see. Time is not something outside of you. It is something you are made of. And yet, even as you rest in this comfort, you feel the arrow of time. You sense that it moves forward, carrying everything with it. Stars burn, rivers carve valleys, bodies age, memories form. This is entropy, the gentle insistence that order dissolves, that the past cannot be undone. Even within flexibility, there is direction. The arrow of time is as much a part of you as its flexibility. You live not only in cycles of breath and heartbeat, but also in the forward drift of years. To rest in time's flexibility is also to accept its flow, its one-way movement toward change. And so you hold both truths gently. Time bends and time moves forward. It is flexible, yet it carries you. It expands, yet it insists on motion. It is gentle, yet it is sure. You let this paradox wash over you, not with fear, but with peace. For within it lies the essence of life itself. Moments stretch and vanish, years drift forward, but you remain within the harmony, carried along by the flexibility of time. You breathe into the vastness, feeling the softness of time's flexible hand, and you begin to wonder, if time bends and flows so gently, what story does its arrow write as it moves always forward? The arrow of time and entropy. Time does not only bend, it moves forward with a quiet insistence. Entropy guides its arrow, turning order into disorder, memory into past. You see how change is written into every star, every cell, every breath, and you wonder if the arrow of time is less a cage than a story unfolding. You sit in stillness and feel the flow of seconds around you. They are gentle, flexible, bending with gravity, stretching with speed, shifting with your perception. Yet beneath all this softness lies something firmer, something undeniable. Time has a direction. It moves forward. It carries everything with it: rivers, stars, bodies, thoughts. This one-way motion is called the arrow of time. You sense this arrow in your own life. You wake, you grow, you age. You remember yesterday but not tomorrow. The glass that shatters on the floor never leaps back into your hand. The coffee that cools never grows hot again on its own. The body that takes a breath will one day take its last. Time moves forward, always forward. Science explains this through entropy, the measure of disorder. Every system left to itself drifts toward more disorder. A tidy room grows messy. A fire burns wood into ash. A star spends its fuel until it collapses. Entropy increases, and in doing so, it draws the arrow of time. Pause and imagine a deck of cards. You shuffle them, mixing order into chaos. The chances of the deck returning to perfect sequence are astronomically small. Not impossible, but so unlikely it may as well never happen. This is entropy at work, the tendency of systems to spread, to disperse, to dissolve into randomness, and it is entropy that gives time its direction. But entropy is not only decay, it is also creation. From the ashes of stars come the elements of life. From the mixing of molecules comes the complexity of biology. Disorder births novelty, variety, possibility. The arrow of time is not only about loss, it is about transformation. You breathe slowly, considering this. Each moment that passes is not simply vanishing, it is reshaping. The present becomes the past, memory replaces immediacy, and new patterns emerge. Entropy writes change into the fabric of the universe. Without it, nothing would evolve, nothing would live. Your own body is an example. Cells divide, energy flows, order dissolves into heat, and yet from this constant flux arises life. You are a being of entropy, carried forward by its arrow. Without it, your heart would not beat, your thoughts would not move, your breath would not flow. And yet, entropy also teaches humility. It reminds you that nothing remains fixed. Every star will burn out, every mountain will erode, every memory will fade. Time does not allow return. Its arrow ensures that all things move onward. This might feel heavy, but it is also freeing. For it means that the preciousness of moments comes not from their permanence, but from their impermanence. The fleeting nature of time gives weight to love, depth to memory, beauty to presence. Close your eyes and recall a memory. Perhaps a childhood summer, warm and endless. Perhaps a voice you no longer hear. That moment is gone, carried away by entropy, but it lives within you. The arrow of time does not erase, it transforms. The past is no longer present, but it has become meaning, story, essence. Even stars follow this arrow. They shine for millions of years, then collapse. Some explode into supernovae, scattering elements that seed new worlds. Without their death, Earth would not exist. Without entropy, you would not exist. You are made of stardust, atoms forged in the collapse of ancient suns. Time's arrow brought endings, and those endings gave you a beginning. You rest in this awareness, neither resisting nor clinging. Entropy is not an enemy. It is the quiet hand that turns pages in the book of existence. Each page must be turned for the story to continue, and so you begin to see your own life differently. Each moment you live is not a loss but a transformation. The laughter you shared becomes memory. The day you lived becomes wisdom. The breath you take becomes part of the next. Entropy ensures that nothing is wasted. Everything becomes something else. This does not make you immortal, it makes you eternal in another way. Your body will change, your moments will pass, but the matter within you, the energy within you, will continue forward, reshaped, repurposed, folded into the universe. The arrow of time carries you, but it also carries your essence onward. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of a river. The water flows in one direction, never backward. You cannot step into the same water twice, yet the river nourishes, moves, and renews. Its one-way motion is its gift. Time is that river. You live not despite its flow, but because of it. There is peace in this understanding. You need not resist the arrow of time. You need only walk with it, trust it, allow it to unfold. Each moment you release makes space for the next. Each change is part of a larger harmony. Entropy gives direction, but not despair. It writes endings, but also beginnings. It ensures that the universe is alive, dynamic, ever-transforming. Without it, there would be no growth, no evolution, no stars, no you. And so you rest in its flow. You let the arrow carry you. You let entropy remind you that life is a story still unfolding. But even here, another question rises. If time always moves forward, if entropy always increases, then what of the future? What lies at the far horizon of this arrow? Will the universe expand forever into cold stillness? Or is there another rhythm waiting, a deeper flexibility beyond even entropy's hand? You drift with the river of time, carried by entropy's gentle insistence, and you wonder, if the arrow always points forward, what awaits at the very end of its path? The horizon of forever. The universe stretches forward, carrying time into the unknown. You imagine the far future when stars fade and silence grows. Entropy whispers of an ending, yet also of continuation in new forms. And in this vast horizon you find peace in being part of forever. You lie in quiet reflection, your breath slow, your heartbeat steady. You have traveled through seconds and centuries, through clocks in your body and clocks in the cosmos. You have seen how gravity bends time, how speed stretches it, how memory reshapes it, how entropy drives it forward. Now your mind drifts to the farthest horizon, the question of forever. The universe began in a burst of expansion, a moment of unimaginable density and heat. From that first spark, time began its flow. Galaxies formed, stars ignited, planets coalesced. Life arose asking questions of itself. You are one of those questions lying here, wondering not only where time comes from, but where it is going. Science speaks of possibilities. One vision is that the universe will expand forever, stars will burn their fuel, galaxies will drift apart, light will fade into silence. Over unimaginable ages, matter itself may decay, leaving only cold darkness. This is called the heat death, a horizon where entropy reaches its maximum and time loses its meaning. Pause and imagine it. No stars in the sky, no warmth in the void, only silence stretching endlessly. It sounds lonely, perhaps frightening. But listen more deeply. It is not a punishment. It is simply the final unfolding of the arrow of time. A story that began in fire may end in stillness, and yet even in that vision there is peace, for nothing truly vanishes. Matter transforms, energy disperses, memory becomes pattern. You are not erased, you are rewritten into the universe's quiet. Forever does not end, it only changes shape. Other visions suggest different horizons. Perhaps expansion will one day slow and reverse, the cosmos folding back into itself. Perhaps a new burst will emerge, a cycle of beginnings and endings, time spiraling rather than stretching. Perhaps new physics, still hidden, will reveal paths we cannot yet imagine. But for you here, resting in this moment, the details of the end are not what matter. What matters is the realization that forever is not only out there in billions of years, forever is here in this very second. Each breath is infinite in its depth. Each heartbeat is both a fleeting moment and a thread in eternity's fabric. You have always lived within forever. The horizon is not a line far away. It is the ground beneath you, the sky above you, the present you carry. Think again of the stars. Some are young, newly lit, burning bright. Others are old, nearing collapse, their fuel almost gone. And yet in each of them time flows gently forward, carrying them toward transformation. Their story is your story. You are made of their remnants, their ashes, their light. The horizon of forever is already in your veins. And think of Earth turning each day, circling the sun each year. To you, it feels like home. To the cosmos, it is one small rhythm among countless others. Yet without it, without its gravity, its oceans, its atmosphere, you would not be here to wonder. Forever is not only vast, it is intimate. It lives in the ground you walk, the air you breathe, the seconds you cherish. You begin to see time not as a road with an ending, but as an ocean. Some waves are large, spanning galaxies. Some are small, rippling in your chest. The ocean has no edge. It carries everything within it, endlessly flowing. Entropy whispers that the universe may cool, may darken, may rest. But even that resting is not nothing. It is a continuation in another form. It is still forever. It is still time, even if slow, even if silent. There is peace in accepting this horizon. You do not need to know how the story ends to feel part of it. You are not separate from the universe's unfolding. You are a verse in its poem, a moment in its melody. You belong to the same forever as galaxies and black holes, as atoms and oceans. You breathe again softly. Each breath is a reminder. The horizon of forever is not far. It is here. It has always been here. Forever is the present, endlessly renewing itself. Close your eyes and imagine drifting far into the future. Stars are gone, galaxies dispersed, yet you still feel yourself within the fabric of time. You are not alone. You are part of the silence, part of the vastness, part of the story that never ends, and then return to now, to this moment, to your breath, to your heartbeat, to your awareness. This is forever too. It does not need to stretch for billions of years to be infinite. It is infinite in its depth, in its presence, in its stillness. The gentle flexibility of time has brought you here, to this horizon, to this resting place. You see now that time is not only about clocks or arrows or entropy. It is about belonging to yourself, to others, to the cosmos, and so you let yourself rest, not clinging to the past, not fearing the future. You are within forever. You always have been. You always will be. You drift into silence, carried by the soft ocean of time. The horizon of forever is here within you, and you let yourself rest, knowing you are part of its endless story. Resting in the flow of time. You return from the vast horizons back to your own breath. The journey through physics becomes a journey into yourself. Time is no longer an enemy, but a companion unfolding gently. You rest, carried by rhythms both cosmic and human. You return now slowly, gently, from the galaxies and horizons, from the black holes and satellites back to where you began. You are no longer racing with light, nor orbiting Earth, nor drifting at the edge of eternity. You are simply here, lying in your own body, listening to the steady flow of your breath. And yet, something has changed. The journey through time has reshaped how you see yourself. You began by noticing the clock within your chest, the rise and fall of lungs, the rhythm of heartbeats. From there, you walked through gravity's invisible hand, through Einstein's daydreams, through astronauts' slow clocks and the paradox of twins. You climbed mountains and sank into oceans. You drifted near black holes. You carried time in your pocket. You felt it stretch inside your mind. You followed entropy's arrow, and you gazed at the horizon of forever. Now you carry it all back here, to the stillness of this moment. You understand now that time is not a single thread, pulled tight and thin. It is a river with many currents. Some run fast, some run slow, some whirl in spirals, some flow quietly forward. You are not apart from this river. You are within it. You are carried by it. And sometimes, without realizing, you even shape it. Your body shapes time by perception. Your emotions stretch or compress seconds. Your memories stitch moments into stories. Your breath can slow the river, your attention can deepen it. This is your gentle power, to rest within the flow rather than fight it. Think of how often people wrestle with time. They feel hurried, late, overwhelmed by its speed. They fear its arrow, resent its passing, cling to its moments. But you have seen now that time is not cruel. It is not a tyrant. It is flexible, forgiving, and endlessly patient. Time has carried stars across billions of years, yet it also pauses for you in the silence of your breath. It bends near black holes and satellites, yet it also bends softly when you notice a moment of beauty. It moves forward with entropy, yet it also loops in memory, letting you return to childhood summers or to the voice of someone you loved. Time is not something outside of you, it is something you are made of. Breathe deeply into this truth. You are a creature of seconds stitched together by rhythms. Every cell in your body carries its own clock. Every thought is timed by the firing of neurons. Every heartbeat is a reminder that you are living inside a pulse of time. And yet, you are also part of greater rhythms. Earth spins and gives you day and night. The moon orbits and gives you tides. The planet circles the sun and gives you seasons. Galaxies swirl and give you aeons. You belong to both, the intimate and the infinite. The seconds inside your body and the centuries written in stars are not separate. They are the same flow, unfolding at different scales. This brings you comfort, because it means you are never truly alone. Every breath you take is part of a universal rhythm shared by oceans, mountains, planets, galaxies. The flow of time connects you to all things. You rest in this awareness. You realize that the fear of time's passing softens when you see its flexibility. You cannot stop time, but you can rest in it. You cannot freeze the arrow, but you can trust its direction. You cannot hold forever, but you can realize that forever is already here, woven into each present moment. Think of a single drop of water falling into a river. The drop is brief, yet once it joins, it becomes the river flowing onward. Your moments are like that. Each one passes, yet none are lost. They become part of the whole, carried onward, reshaped into something larger than themselves. And so you no longer see time as something to fear. It is not slipping away. It is unfolding. It is transforming. It is becoming. You lie here now, aware of both the science and the poetry of time. You know that clocks bend with gravity. You know that speed stretches seconds. You know that entropy guides the arrow. But you also know something deeper, that time is a companion, not a foe. That resting in its flow brings peace. That living in its presence brings meaning. Close your eyes and return once more to your breath. Feel its rhythm. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Each cycle is a reminder that you are alive in this moment, carried by time's gentle current. You are not racing, you are not late. You are simply in rhythm, exactly as you are meant to be. And if you wonder about the future, what lies beyond entropy, beyond forever, you can smile softly and let the question rest. Because you have learned that you need not know the ending to live the story. The horizon is not something you must reach. It is something you already hold. Your life is not separate from forever. It is forever in miniature. A drop of eternity moving gently through seconds, carrying within it the same flexibility, the same arrow, the same vastness as the cosmos itself. You breathe again, slowly, calmly, resting in the flow. Time, you realize, is not against you. Time is with you. It has always been with you. It always will be. You rest in silence, carried not by fear of passing seconds, but by the gentle flow of time itself, knowing you are part of its endless, patient unfolding.